John, thanks again for joining us here on Raith TV. It's the midweek interview and the lead up to the game against Forfar. I was going to start by asking you a wee bit about Saturday's game at Stranraer. In your first interview back, you said it was really important to turn games to their advantage, to turn draws into wins. If we're behind, get at that late equaliser. It strikes me that Saturday was the kind of epitome of that, where some people may have thought we're down to 10 men, let's try and grind out a draw here, but that never seemed to be in your thoughts.
Well, it actually kind of was to win the game. You know, we were in a winning position at half time, and it's interesting that even in the way in this morning, I'm listening to talk radio, and Alan Brazil had a phone call with Sam Allardyce, and they were asking him, is Dean, striker for Liverpool in the past, whose name's quite it was Dean. So he was
Dean Saunders.
Dean Saunders, yeah, that's one. He was asking about that, and Sam Allardyce, you know, he was saying that some people think it's negative and that, but at that particular time, we had 3 points, and the aim was to leave with 3 points, to leave here at night on Saturday night with 3 points, and we did that. And it's no luck, you know, it's no luck. We worked on that, you know, could have been coincidentally, fortunately, we actually worked on that kind of thing on the Thursday. Very much actually more numerical advantage to the opposition. We worked 11 against 8, so 1 goalkeeper, 4 defenders and 3 midfield players. And we worked the other team having 11 players, which was obviously most of our bench and the younger lads who joined in to make the other team up. And alright, we didn't play for 50 minutes or 40 minutes, 5 minutes. The second half lasted 50 minutes. We didn't play for that duration, but we set in stone a situation whereupon the reason we did that, numbers wise, we kind of normally would have done that in two blocks of 4 and a goalkeeper, so a 1-4-4 if you want. So we didn't actually have the numbers to do any more than what we actually had, and we actually played with 3 in midfield. So that's why we went with a 4 and a 3. So it's getting 2 compact lines, it's being moving across the pitch together, denying space, so there's not enough space in behind you, so they're not going to threaten you in behind. Most of the players in front of you, so you can actually see it, most of it, not all of it, most of it. There was a runs that got in behind, caused us 1 or 2 wee issues, but tactically the players were very, very good. And yeah, there was 1 or 2 wee scary moments that we survived from. So, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day, there's work to be done, of course there is. I thought that on the day Stranraer were playing quite well, very well actually, and so maybe in another day you might have done it in a different way. But on that particular day I thought if we had went to try and play a normal game, a man down, I think they would have picked us off and they would have got through, the gap would have opened up and we might have lost a goal. So we conserved energy by playing deep, a low block, and denying space and actually giving them more time in the ball. And you probably, if you were at the game, the amount of times that they actually lost possession really, really cheaply, knocking the ball out the park, long balls went out the park, going across the park, it went out the pitch. And so it kind of suggested to me that, you know, I'm saying, and I felt in the first half they were a threat, they were dangerous. It was a cheap goal for us to lose from a long free kick. We don't win the first header, we don't react to the second header. But, you know, I mentioned before the number of players that they had with a Celtic connection, and you don't play with Celtic, even their youth team, if you're not a decent player. And some of these guys just need a wee footing to kick on again, and you could see that in some of the players, like Boyd Donnelly, who scored the goal for them. He's a really, really good football player. Yeah, so they had some really good players, along with the likes of the Grant Andersons that we know about, and Jamie Hamill at the back, and the younger lad Kyle Turner in midfield. So they had some good players, and you know, if they play that against, you know, other teams, they're going to win a right good few games. You know, there's no doubt about that. So we set up like that to win the game, win it from a winning position, and that's again what Sam Allardyce was talking about this morning. So it was just coincidentally, and again you look at Tottenham last night, to go down to 10 men, lose a late goal, and they've not managed to survive. You know, we've actually done it. As I say, on another day we might do something different, but we felt that was the right way to go about it. We've got the 3 points, a very, very valuable 3 points. I mean, effectively at that time we're 5 players down, because Ewan Watson's been sent off. We've got 4: Lewis Vaughan, Lewis Millen, Grant Gillespie, and Chris Duggan all out injured, you know, so effectively we're like 5 players missing. That was Stranraer's strongest team, and like Arbroath come here and they're playing with their strongest team, you know. We've nowhere near that at the moment, you know.
When there are gaps through injuries or suspensions, it seems as a fan that it makes it even more vital that the players are right on top of the game that you're asking them to play. It certainly sounds, for your description, that the players, as best as they could, really follow that guidance for training straight on to the match day.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, no, the players have been great. They've been fantastic, and as I say, it takes a lot of sort of tactical discipline, no getting dragged out, no getting sucked out into positions you don't want to be in, to perform like that. And certainly going forward now, you know, obviously we're going to start the game with 11 players on Saturday, and we look to finish the game with 11 players. Yeah, Ewan's not going to be available. It's an opportunity for somebody else to come in. So that's fine. That's how it works. I would much prefer to have a full strength squad, but you know, I was probably here like 5.5 years the last time, and wow, I can't even think of too many times we actually had a full strength squad to choose from. It was very, very few. I know that. So it's adapting, being flexible. The players as well as myself with regards to, you know, the tactics and taking things on board, and they've been very receptive, and I think they're enjoying it, and you know, we're still creating chances, good chances. First half, score a couple of really good goals, and some good football, some excellent football. So we know, you know, it's still a lot of work to get done, and it's building blocks. It's every day, but we're getting there.
Well, there's a lot of calm heads in amongst the fans on Saturday when you brought on young Jamie. We've seen how good a player he is. Also game time for James and for Ryan, who started. We've got Dave and Ewan on the bench as well. How good are this new to you kind of bunch of youth players that are on their way through?
Yeah, well, you know, I think there's a wee bit to go there as well, you know, but they're obviously gaining some first team experience, which is going to stand them in good stead. Didn't have any fear about putting Jamie Watson on that particular game. Didn't have any fear about starting Ryan Stevenson in the game. But I felt, again, as I said after the game, it looked like they were going to put high balls into the back post area, into which would become our right back area. And Ryan Stevenson was never going to be able to compete with the lad McDonald, who was playing in a left wing back position for them, who was going to push on higher up into these positions, as was seen in the very first minute of the second half, where he won a header back across goal. And I think it was Grant Anderson at a header that Robbie made a really good save from. So we had to make a change there. I was very confident that Jamie Watson would go in there and do a good job, and obviously sets himself up for starting the game this week. So yeah, I mean, I think at the right time, right moments to put them in. You know, we put them on against Dunbar. The game was one small little certainly introduction from myself and Paul Smith to put them in, and yeah, Saturday we start with Ryan Stevenson. Nate James Berries came on late in the game, so they're all acquitting themselves very well, but they've all got a long way to go.
The kind of pace and intensity of training with the first team, is that benefiting them?
I hope so. I mean, I would imagine they were training with the first team previously, but I don't know what happened in the past. It's not my concern. I can only go with what we're doing, and I've been very happy with the intensity. Obviously the young lads have reserve games, it kind of breaks up the week to a certain extent. You've not got everyone together all the time. We certainly this week we had them Monday, Tuesday, but then there was playing a reserve game last night, so they'll not take part in training today. You know, you're absolutely doing far too much, and they'd have no energy left, because these guys will be on the bench at the weekend. So so they're in around about it. The training we try to, you know, train it as high at the tempo and intensity as we possibly can, putting demands in, raising the standards, and as I say, tactical awareness, putting things across. They've all bought into it, and yeah, I think you can see that they're kind of enjoying things and playing with a smile on their face most of the time.
Always strikes me that it must be one of the most difficult features of a football manager's job, striking that balance between, you've got the eagerness of the youth desperate to get their break, but you're also needing to make sure that players are coming in with an immediate impact. Sometimes you're strengthening the squad, so a lot of patience is asked of these young boys.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's circumstances more than anything else, and sometimes they're thrown in maybe even when they're maybe not ready, but and it's sink or swim, and maybe it'll be that, you know, some of them have actually done well and kind of swam in that kind of situation. So that's good. But we it's all about getting out of this league, and we've got to have no just a matter of putting young players in because they're young players and they maybe came through the system. They've got to be ready to play and win football matches, because this is about getting out of this league. And whether we do it with 11 17-year-olds, 11 30-year-olds, 11 21-year-olds, 11 19-year-olds, it doesn't matter to me if they're good enough to play. But you know, we can't just play young boys just for the sake of playing young boys. You know, if we don't win football matches, there's no point.
Absolutely. A lot of talking amongst fans this week, kind of looking through the record books, because it's now 30 home league games, regulation league games since we've lost. One of the things that was making me think, looking forward to the Forfar game, is how important is it that we redress our away form and as you say, look to just pick up extra points in the road?
Oh, without doubt, yeah. I mean, I don't have any fear about going away from home. I mean, the last home game we won 5-1. You know, I've got no fear whatsoever playing away from home. So we have to make our away record better. And the last away game, as I suggested there, it was a very, very successful day. We have the greatest respect for Forfar. We will not in any way disrespect them, take them lightly in any way, shape or form. We're feeling good about ourselves. We're in a good, moment, so we look to take that on. If we're going to go to this league, we have to win games like this. It's the same as last week. We have to win them. At times, we'd love to play brilliant football like we did at Dumbarton. At times, we'll need to play brilliant football, then adjust because we're down to 10 men. And hopefully other days we'll keep 11 men on the play and play good football for the entire 90 minutes and win football matches. That's the only way that we're going to get out of this league.
Another journey to Angus. We're making quite a few of them this season, but it's another game on an artificial surface. Is there a lot of difference that you see across the different playing surfaces, and how do you feel about that challenge, John?
Yeah, the difference is the age, the difference is the age of the AstroTurf, how long it's been doing, how it's been maintained, and that will determine. Our AstroTurf is very, very good at the minute because it's just laid, so it's great to train on, it's great to play on, even Stranraer could come here and play good football on it, so that's good for both teams. Some you'll go to, I've not been to Forfar for a good number of years, so I'm not sure how old that actual surface is, because obviously the more it gets worn, it kind of gets flattened, and then the ball, there's not really such a true bounce of the ball. It's hard to judge the ball on it. It becomes more difficult. For us, we train here and we play here. It's an advantage to us in that aspect. So I think it's more about the age than whether one sort of contractor who puts a surface down is different from another one. I'm not so sure about that. But the older ones kind of flatten off and they're not as good to play on. I'm not really sure where the Forfar one is.
We'll find out on Saturday. What's the update with regards to squad? You mentioned that kind of injury list. Anybody making movements forward?
No, really. It's quite very slow. It's very slow. Obviously, Grant Gillespie's a longer term. He's progressing, but there's still weeks to go. Chris Duggins has been slow, although there is similar light at the end of the tunnel to a certain extent. Lewis Vaughan's ankle's no cleared up. It's taken on longer than we expected. Lewis Millen is going to be like 50-50 for the weekend, so he has a slight chance. Hopefully, he may train today, see how much he does train today, how that affects him tomorrow, with a view to playing on Saturday or not. Obviously, Ewan Murray is out suspended, so that's a blow. That's another one that we're without. Couldn't fill the bench last week, we'll not be able to fill the bench this week. So we're bare bones stuff, yeah.
Will the chairman's door be getting rattled? Is that always the manager's way?
No, well, we've have our allocation of loan players. We can't bring any more players in on loan. We could possibly sign a free agent if you get a free agent who is someone who's going to take us forward, which at this stage in the season is very difficult to find. We've had a few lads in up to now, but there's just having a look at lads, seeing if they are up to the standard that they could do a job for us. But no one's actually impressed us that enough yet. So it's you know, these guys are, as everyone can imagine, they're no hanging on the end of trees just waiting to, you know, come and play here. Very difficult to find, but there's always people wanting trials, and you know, we're open to that. You never know what you're going to find.
Despite all the injuries and you in suspension, the positivity remains?
Yeah, of course, no, without doubt. No, we've got to deal with all this, you know, in adversity. You know, what comes out, it's a character. Character came out last week. There's no reason why it can't come out again on Saturday.
We'll look forward to seeing it. Thanks very much, John.
Thank you.